Welcome to Mindful Movement in a Chair. So let's begin by settling ourselves into an alert and upright posture. So sitting on a straight-backed chair, a hard chair, moving yourself forward so that you're sitting towards the front of the chair, the very front of the chair, and positioning yourself so that your legs can be at a 90-degree angle to the floor, and your thighs and your calves make a 90-degree angle also. And let's check in with the posture of the spine, maybe taking a breath in and raising the shoulders up a little bit and then letting them drop over the upper ribs, and sitting so that your spine is fairly straight but with its natural curves at the lower back and at the upper back, and also rolling your hips so that you can actually feel yourself sitting on your sitting bones. And so the spine is directly over the hips, the shoulders are directly over the hips, the head is also in a line with the hips and with the shoulders. Maybe the chin is just pressed back a little bit so you can kind of feel your neck nice and long and straight. And placing your hands on your lap. Your feet are pointing straight ahead, toes pointing straight ahead, and maybe your knees are a few inches apart from one another. So this is our posture to begin our mindful movement practice. And let's begin by focusing the attention on our posture and also beginning to gather the attention to the breath. And we'll start with a few deep, centering breaths of arrival. So bringing in this in-breath, letting it go. And noticing how that feels. And let's take in another deep inhale, feeling this energy. And as you release that breath, noticing how maybe some of your muscles kind of let go a little bit as the shoulder blades sit down over the upper ribs. Nice, straight posture, alert and dignified. Focusing your attention on breathing and allowing breath to be just as it is and simply observing it, not needing to change it or manage it. Just feeling the breath and feeling your body sitting in this chair. We're going to be doing some movements, and with these movements, I may be instructing you to breathe in as we move in a certain way and let the breath go during another part of the movement. So doing your best to follow this instruction, but if you get a little bit confused, just go ahead and keep breathing. Your body knows what to do, and your body knows that it needs to keep breathing. So we'll begin our movement practice with some shoulder rolls. We can create so much tension in the neck and shoulders, and so it's very wonderful to pay attention to these parts of the body and give them a little bit of movement, a little bit of massaging action. So let's begin this by just taking in an in-breath and raising the shoulders up as though they want to reach towards your ears. And then as you breathe out, just rolling those shoulders back, shoulder blades press together and down. And beginning to take in this next in-breath, the shoulders roll forward and up. Breathing out, rolling the shoulders back and down. Breathing in, rolling those shoulders forward and up. So continuing this motion, and only as far as is right for you, making those circles littler or quicker or slower, whatever is right for you. Breathing in, raising the shoulders, breathing out, rolling them back and down. Breathing in, shoulders forward and up. Breathing out. So as we breathe out and roll those shoulders back, maybe you notice the shoulder blades pressing together and the chest opening up. As you breathe in to roll the shoulders forward and up, the shoulder blades move apart from one another, and so the shoulder blades are moving. The chest is moving. Opening up in the collarbones, opening up in the upper back. So continuing this motion, if that feels okay for you, and you may want to experiment with smaller or larger circles. And now reversing direction. So on an in-breath, rolling the shoulders back and up. On the out-breath, forward and down. And continuing in-breath and out-breath, feeling the movement of the shoulders. Just enough motion, just slow enough so that you can really be aware and feel what is here, what is available to you to feel. And now letting the shoulders come back to stillness. Breathing and feeling the effects of having done this little bit of motion. Breathing to your neck and your shoulders, aware of the physical sensations, coming up close and into direct contact with physical sensations at your shoulders and your neck. And now we'll continue to focus on the neck and shoulder area. We're going to be doing some neck rolls. Neck rolls in a forward half circle. So let's begin by pointing one ear toward the same side shoulder. So maybe it's the right side, the right ear tilts over toward the right shoulder. The nose is still pointing straight ahead. Feeling any stretch in the left side of the neck and breathing to it. Shoulders are relaxed and down if that's possible for you. Just feeling that stretch. And now slowly beginning to roll the head forward so that the nose begins to point down toward your lap. And during this slow half circle to the front, maybe you can feel the different parts of your neck stretching one by one by one. And staying with any sticky spots, taking care of yourself as best you can, moving on until now the left ear is over the left shoulder, and breathing into whatever stretch you might feel. Stretch in the right side of the neck, shoulders are down, nose pointing straight ahead. So just breathing here for a moment or two, and getting ready to let that head begin to roll forward once again. The nose beginning to point down toward the lap, with the shoulders relaxed and down as much as is possible for you, really feeling each muscle and ligament and tendon in the back of the neck as you stretch and move and stretch and move. Until here we are with the right ear over the right shoulder once again. Feeling the stretch in the left side of the neck. And now breathing in, bringing the head right back up. Noticing how the neck is feeling, the shoulders are feeling, and if you'd like to, you just wiggle your shoulders a little bit to release. And we're going to be doing a bit of a shoulder stretch now. So we've been already paying attention to the neck and shoulders, and here's another one. So the instruction is to raise up your hands, raise them up from your lap and weave your fingers together. So kind of interlace your fingers. Maybe you can take a look at your palms. And now just turning the hands so that the palms are facing away from you. And press those palms away from you, straightening out your arms parallel to the floor, straight out in front of you, and feeling whatever stretch you can feel in your shoulders. Breathing fully and freely and completely with your hands and arms in this stretched out position. And breathing out, releasing the hands down, coming back down to your lap, and feeling whatever after effects of this shoulder stretch. And we'll do this once again. So interlacing your fingers, turning those palms away from you and pressing out, pressing those shoulders on one of your out breaths. And now breathing in and raising the hands and arms up over your head. And breathing here with your hands pushing as though they could push against the ceiling. Feeling any stretch in the sides of your torso and in your shoulders. Continuing to breathe fully and freely and completely. And letting go one of your breaths and letting the hands press now to the forward. And eventually the hands and arms come back down to your lap. Resting the hands, the palms on your lap. Breathing and feeling whatever is available to you to feel. In the back of the neck, in the shoulders, the sides of the torso after just having done the shoulder stretch. Next, we'll be doing a bit of a stretch that is meant to open up the chest a little bit. So the instruction here is to place your hands on the back of your chair, like on the seat of your chair behind you. So wherever you can reach. This depends on what kind of chair you have. So with your hands back there, taking in a breath, rolling your shoulders back and opening up the chest. Breathing now, noticing the quality of the breath as you breathe in and out, with your shoulders kind of pressed back and your collarbones open. Being gentle with yourself only as much as is right for you. You need to be guided by your own wisdom, listening to your own body. What's right for you right now, today. Continuing to breathe. One more stretch of the collarbones. And releasing that breath. And returning the hands to your lap. And feeling what's here to be felt. Right here, right now. And the next motion will be some side stretches. And the first instruction is firstly paying attention to your posture, maybe wiggling your shoulders and straightening up your spine. Perhaps with this motion we've become a little bit collapsed through the back, so just maybe taking in a breath and straightening up the spine. And now placing your right hand and forearm across your lap with your right palm facing up. So you're just kind of resting the arm on your lap. And your other hand and arm is by your side. And as you take in an in-breath, raising that left hand and arm up through space, out to the side of your body, palm facing up as you're breathing in until the fingertips are pointing toward the ceiling. And now breathing out, letting that left hand and arm move gently over across the midline of the body, pointing toward the right. So your upper body, your arm is kind of in a curved position. So breathing now freely as possible for you, as fully and freely as you can, and feeling whatever stretch is here, maybe in the arm, the armpit, and the side of your body, the left rib cage. And now breathing in, raising that left hand and arm up again, pointing toward the ceiling. Taking in a breath, letting it go. Taking in another breath, stretching the fingers up toward the ceiling. And now turning the palm to face to the left and letting that hand and arm just drift back through space, back down to the side of the chair. And breathing in, feeling the sensations in the left side of the body and the right side of the body. Breathing in, breathing out. And now we'll do that on the opposite side. So now just placing the left hand and arm on the lap, palm faces up, just resting there, and letting the right hand and arm be by your side. And now on one of your in-breaths, just raising that right hand and arm up through the air, palm facing up, breathing in, and stretching that right hand and arm up, pointing the fingers toward the ceiling, feeling that stretch in the body. And as you breathe out, just letting that right hand and arm lean across the body to the left. And breathing here, feeling the stretch in the right side of the body and the right shoulder. In this curved position. And on one of your in-breaths, straightening up once again, fingers pointing toward the ceiling. And now turning the palm to face to the side and releasing the breath as you release the hand and arm right back down to your side and bringing both hands, both palms to rest on your lap. Connecting with how your body is feeling right now, the left side, the right side. What sensations are here? What messages and signals from your body after just having done these simple side stretches? And next we'll be doing postures that are called the cat and cow. So you might wish to bring yourself even a little farther forward in your chair for this one, and making sure that your legs are at right angles So in the cat stretch, what we'll be doing is just on an out breath, just rounding the back as though to press your lower back towards the back of the chair. And as you do this, letting the shoulders and the head drop just a bit. Head drops. The back is rounded away from you. And on an in-breath, leading from your heart. So just slightly leaning forward, straightening out the back, reaching with your heart. Head comes up, and the back is kind of swayed a little bit. Your chest is out. That's the cow. And as you breathe out, pressing your lower back into the cat posture, feeling that stretch. And as you breathe in, reaching forward with the heart, straightening out the back, leaning forward just a bit. Shoulders are back, hips are back, and the back is kind of swayed like a cow out in the field, looking out over the horizon. The head is up. So continuing this motion on an out breath, pressing into cat. On an in breath, reaching forward with the heart, straightening the back. Head comes up in the cow posture. So continuing this at your own pace and only as far as is right for you, being guided by your own wisdom. What's appropriate for you for right now? Maybe small motions, maybe more of a stretch, whatever is right for you. And feeling whatever gentle massage is here for your muscles of your back, the structures around your spine, as you move in this cat and cow, breathing fully and freely. And now coming to stillness in your upright, seated posture, checking in with your legs, your hands and arms, the straightness of your spine, and your head. Next, we'll be doing just some gentle side twists. And so, here's another posture that you should actually be guided by your wisdom once again. If it's not okay for your back to do a twist to the side, then you're going to just skip this one. We're going to begin by reaching back behind us with the left hand to touch some part of the back of the chair. Maybe even grab the back of the chair. And now letting your right hand and arm cross over to touch the side of the chair too, as we just gently twist the spine on one of the out breaths. Maybe even looking over to the left. So we've kind of twisted the upper body to the left. Breathing into whatever stretch you feel, noticing where it is. Being present with sensations. Some pleasant, some neutral, some challenging. Breathing to whatever is here and just residing at your own limits, not pushing past them, but sometimes playing with these limits. Maybe sometimes we can actually do more than we ever thought. Continuing to breathe. And now releasing your breath and letting the torso come back to facing front. Breathing and feeling the left side of the body, the right side. And now we'll move in the other direction, so placing your right hand towards the back of the chair and maybe grasping some part of the chair that you can reach. Letting the left hand come over to grasp some part of the chair as well, if that's possible for you, or maybe it's just touching your right thigh. So now, on one of your out breaths, breathing out and just gently twisting the spine to the right, The head moves to the right, breathing fully and freely with this twist and becoming aware of sensations in the back, the spine, the hips. Just feeling what's here to be felt. Breathing and being with whatever sensations are here. Breathing into the stretch and really knowing it. And on one of your out breaths, moving the torso back to front, letting go with the hands. Hands come back to rest on your lap and breathing fully and freely. Checking in with your posture and feeling the after effects of the stretch. And so now we'll work with the spine and the back just a little bit more. And what we're going to be doing next is just a forward stretch as though to move our ribs towards our thighs. So with the hands resting on the lap, maybe even a little bit farther forward towards your knees. With the straight back, just beginning to lean forward over your thighs. And seeing if it's possible to let your rib cage begin to come right down to your thighs. Now you may want to move your legs a little farther apart in order to do this. Going as far as you can with a straight back that feels okay for you. Always being guided by your own body. And then if you'd like to, just letting your shoulders round forward and your head rest forward, just dropping the head to complete the stretch. And feeling any sensations in your hips area, any sensations in the lower back. As best you can, just letting go into this posture. With the ribs somewhere over the thighs. Stretching the hips, the lower back. Breathing fully and freely. And when you're ready, begin to press with the hands and maybe walk the hands up and beginning to straighten the back from the shoulders, straightening the middle back, and straightening up completely the lower back, back to our upright posture. And taking a few breaths in this sitting posture. And now we'll just spend a few moments waking up the legs a little bit. So let's start with the left leg and just moving that left heel forward. And here you might actually need to scoot yourself forward to the very front part of the chair in order to do this. So moving that left leg forward so that the heel is touching the ground and the leg is straight out. And now just pointing the toe and flexing, pointing and flexing, feeling the muscle activity in your shin and in your ankle and in the top of your foot, any muscle activity in your thigh. Maybe you'd like to circle those toes one direction, circle then the other direction, feeling your legs waking up, and now flex and point again. And if you'd like to, if you want to challenge yourself and create some strengthening for your torso, for your core, you could just raise that heel up off of the floor and flex and point. Seeing how this works, different muscles in your body. Letting that heel come back to the floor. Taking a breath, and now sliding that foot along the floor, back into our upright posture. And now we'll wake up the other leg. So with our tush right near the front of the chair. I want you to just slide that right heel forward until the leg is stretched out. The heel is on the ground. The entire right leg is kind of stretched out in front of you. Breathing and pointing the toes and then flexing the ankle. Pointing, flexing, breathing. Feeling how this wakes up some of the muscles of your legs. And now circling those toes one direction, the other direction. Coming to stillness. And if you'd like to, you could raise up that foot off of the floor just a few inches. Breathing and feeling what parts of the body are working now. Are there some parts that can stay kind of loose and don't have to be working right now? Maybe flexing and pointing. Letting that heel come back to the ground and sliding the right foot along the floor until once again the feet are flat on the ground and the lower legs are perpendicular to the ground. The legs at a right angle. Checking in with your posture. Back fairly straight but not rigid. Hands resting gently, lightly on your lap. Head straight up. Breathing and feeling the energy on this in-breath and the release on the out-breath. Congratulating yourself for taking care of yourself in this way.